Hello everybody and welcome to Letterbox Book Club. My name is Claire.
And I'm Mackenzie.
And today we will be discussing Sally Thorne's The Hating Game.
Woohoo! Now, a major motion picture.
And what did you think of the movie, Kenzie, real quick? Accurate, would you say? I haven't seen it.
Yeah. I have thoughts. I'll talk about it.
Okay. Alright, and with that, if you want to kick us off with
Get
the blurb.
to the blurb. Nemesis, noun. 1. A long-standing rival and arch-enemy. 2. A person's undoing. 3. Joshua Templeman. Lucy Hutton, baker of cakes, charming assistant and professional nice girl, is waging war. She's got the whole office on her side except for tall, dark and charmless Joshua Templeman. He's been nothing but hostile since the moment they met, and now it feels like nothing matters as much as taking him down. Trapped together under the fluorescent lights, they become entrenched in an addictive rivalry. There's the staring game, the mirror game, the HR game. Lucy can't let Joshua beat her at anything, especially when a huge promotion comes up for grabs. Finally, she's going to destroy the man she can't seem to get out of her office, the man taking up far too much space in her head, the man she hates. Or does she? Perhaps the real games have only just begun. ...
Ugh. You know how I feel about this arch nemesis and hatred bullshit. Thoughts, feelings and emotions, Kenzie.
No, what are your thoughts, feelings and emotions?
Yeah, look, menial hatred. I hated it. Yeah, I don't know. It really did remind me of the Spanish love deception moments and the love hypothesis. And yeah, if they had a baby, those two books, in a corporate setting, this book would be it.
Yeah.
It was so much familiarity as I was reading it. And then I got curious as to what came first. And it turned out The Hating came first before the love hypothesis. And I'm going to assume Spanish love deception as well. So I feel like there's a heavy influence there. Or I suppose two people can still have original ideas and have it be similar. Look, I found the first few chapters incredibly boring. I was so close to DNFing, but I pushed through. The revelation at the end was stupid, I feel. It was funny, there was some nice moments, some genuine, character content chat between the two main characters. But yeah, I just thought it was just a little bit too far-fetched and silly in terms of like a nemesis arch-rival situation. Yeah, it's very a la love hypothesis, really stupid, and they're just horny people who just want to fuck each other. Anyway, that's it. Yeah. Go on.
Cool. Okay, my thoughts, feelings and emotions are this book reads like a book.
Of course.
Like, it's just like, here's a plot point, here's what happens, and that integrates into this, which is going to push the plot forward, blah, 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 blah. I read this book in an evening. I did a, tandem read while watching the movie.
Which is such a cool thing to do, though. It's a cool concept.
Yeah, so, I read, half the book, and then I started the movie, and then as the movie was going, I finished the book, and then, finished the movie.
Oh, that's cool, though.
Yeah, and, it's very accurate. It's probably one of, the closest adaptions that I've ever seen to a book.
I mean, there's not much to really stray from, so if they fucked it up, then it must have been a real fuck up.
Yeah, but it really does feel like, it feels like a mix of After and To All the Boys I've Loved Before.
Oh, okay.
It's on that cusp of young adult, new adult.
Yeah. I think that's also a thing about it that I kind of disliked, is that it is considered an older adult because Lucy is 28, but it just seems still quite juvenile and immature.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, because they're adults and they're in a corporate office setting and it's very adult themes or whatever. But then it feels so childish. Lucy just feels very childish and immature, etc.
And even Josh is just
himbo, but it's perfectly cast with Glenn Powell in the movie.
Oh, okay. Alright, I understand. I thought it was somebody else.
I'm pretty sure it's him. If it's not, I've made a huge mistake, but let me check.
The Glenn Powell renaissance, almost.
Yeah. Oh my god, I think it is someone else. What is Glenn Powell in that I've watched recently?
I don't know, Top Gun?
Yeah. I'm an idiot. It's not even Glenn Powell.
Oh, I love that though.
Okay, no, well, he gives off the same himbo vibes, so...
Yeah, and just... There's a lot of comparisons, I feel, to the love hypothesis as well, so I feel like that might make
Glenn
a
Powell
light
has
mention.
to be in an adaptation.
We will figure this out for you, Kenzie, just to ease your mind.
He's been in something like this. That's stupid. Set it up.
Okay, is that a book as well, or just...
I think so, and it has Zoe
Deschanel.
Yeah. No, the other one, the one from Vampire Academy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is she not Deschanel?
No, Deschanel's the other one.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, this is just Zoe Dooch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, same concept.
I mean, but I love the vibe of the, like a renaissance of the romantic comedy, sure, but this was very boring, in my opinion. At least until it got to the juice, which was about the interview and then the wedding and then blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. And then I know, sorry, we're talking about the book, but I can't help but, like, talk about the movie as well. The movie also, like, felt like a book. It was like, okay, this is clearly, like, chapter 1, this is clearly chapter 2.
Oh. Like structure-wise?
Yeah, it's very just, like...
Again, like, it's a pretty simple book. It's a quick read. I read it today.
Yeah. I think the movie's, like, a clean hour and a half, like...
Yeah, I feel like there's not much that could possibly get wrong. And yeah, it seems like a smooth sailing structure as well.
Yeah.
Although, of course, I thought the interview was going to be more prominent, but then that never really gets resolved until the end. Well, it's left open-ended in that sense as well. Yeah. Because we don't know if she got the job. But yeah, very simple book, simple read. But yeah, if you loved Spanish Love Deception, and if you love The Love Hypothesis, and perhaps all those other rom-com genres, then yeah, you'll like this book. But I don't know, maybe corporate nemesis, enemies to lovers, not even that, was not a vibe for me.
Let's talk about this false nemesis.
False nemesis, yes.
Situation. I don't like it.
Me neither. It's just menial. It's stupid, bro.
Yeah, and it's always like, I understand like the cutesy, like, oh, he's my nemesis, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, you're just not vibing with each other.
Yeah. And like, I feel like hate in general is such a very strong word and should be treated very strongly.
Yeah.
These books undermining a true emotion of hatred, they're just annoying each other, really.
Yeah, and it's like, if you just have open communication.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, true hatred would be, I don't want to work with you anymore. I'm going to do everything in my power to sabotage your career or get you fired. That is pure hatred. They are just like, I'm just going to threat HR if you insinuate like sexual harassment again, like verbally, It's like, bro, if you really hated him, you'd want him gone.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm just going to skip to the revelation at the end because it was just so fucking stupid. She didn't like him because he didn't smile at her when they met. Come on. That's stupid. Yeah. So fucking stupid.
Is this the one? No, it was another one. See, I'm getting confused with all my books. I was like, she gave him a present and he didn't like it.
No, that was Spanish.
Spanish Love, yeah.
And there was so much familiarity between that as well. Yeah, look, that revelation was silly. And the fact that he always loved her,
Ugh.
It's just...
Always.
Yeah, same with Adam in The Love Hypothesis. It's like, he's just a horny scientist.
And Aaron in the Spanish Love Deception.
Yeah. But Aaron, you could kind of tell. Oh, I suppose in the same way Josh can tell, because the way they're written, it's obviously strictly Lucy's point of view. But you see the way he talks to her, like he notices things about her career, like what she likes, what she dislikes, blah, blah, blah. He's actively listening despite how he hates her.
Yeah, he's paying attention. And it's like, it's not even, because it's her point of view. It's like, oh, he hates me. But when you see like the words and the actions that he was doing / taking or whatever, it's like, no, he's just being like cordial and he's displaying appropriate office behaviour.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
It's not like he's going to get down on his knees and be like, I'm in love with you, like, you make me so horny, blah, blah, blah. Like,
yeah, and especially from day dot.
Yeah, if anything, she's the one being inappropriate.
Yeah, but I suppose they're just as bad as each other. But yeah, it's just the hatred, just the declaring being an arch nemesis and the hatred. I understand there's a point in the plot where, they're vying for the new job role offered in their publishing house, and like that competitive nature, sure, but there was hardly any instances of them actually competing against each other. We only got Lucy's side with her working alongside Danny and all that, and she's like keeping it all a secret, fine, but I suppose, now that I say that, but it is through Lucy's point of view, so we have no real insight on what Adam is actually Joshua is actually doing.
Let's talk about, I really hated the whole premise of that, like, her, like, original company, like, got absorbed by a bigger, like, publishing company.
Just the merging, essentially.
Yeah, just the merging, in it's like, in what world would this happen? Like...
I feel like it happens.
I feel like they wouldn't have, like, 2 CEOs or whatever.
Right.
And then they would both have an assistant each or whatever. Like, I feel like they would merge, like, one CEO and then they would, like, have a position underneath them, and then that person would have like one assistant.
Yeah, like they're all under the one banner, ultimately a united front instead of still, two separate entities essentially.
And then like the extreme juxtaposition of like they were like an indie like publishing company doing like the romances and blah blah blah.
Or who actually cared about the books and stuff.
Yeah, and then they're the like serious publishing company who probably publish like the finance books, or like the books about stocks, like.
Yeah, there was that juxtaposing contrast between the two houses, where one is more about the money and selling the units, whereas Lucy's company is all about about the books and the passion for the reading and the literature and all that type of stuff and progressing the industry. Yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah, I do also think it could be unrealistic.
I just thought it was like, so extreme.
Yeah. In a way, it makes it a bit unbelievable. But of course, companies, I'm sure, have merged before. Like, I'm not a business bro, not in that sort of realm. But yeah, it'd be naive to say that it doesn't happen. But then if it does happen, I feel like, there wouldn't be two stems leading to the same branch. It would all be one cohesive unit.
Yeah.
And even, like, as part of the plot, they have that...
And then they do, part of the plot is that, like, we're absolving, like, your roles, essentially, and there's only going to be, like, one.
Yeah.
Like, COO, chief officer of whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know business terms, executive terms.
Yeah.
And then, just stemming off of that, like, and then they have, the paintball as well, to build the team and connect them together.
Yeah, and it was like Lucy had come up with this idea, like the retreat or whatever it was, and then Josh was like, oh no, like we're doing paintball and I've already gotten it approved and like it's going ahead, and it's like, this would not happen like this in real life. Like,
no.
You would both present the ideas and would be like decided. Like,
again, one cohesive unit, because otherwise it's like, how does the business even run if...
Because the way it's set up, that like, and again it is from Lucy's point of view, but like the way it's set up, that like they're against each other the whole time. It's like, this is unrealistic and this wouldn't happen in a real life scenario.
I know, but we got to suspend our disbelief for a moment. In this menial world, it happens.
I can't.
This whole thing reminds me of TikTok discourse that I saw that is completely irrelevant from like books, but it's just this idea, because I found it really shit that Josh's idea just got passed on and like, all right, we're doing paintball because that's something he wants to do, and I feel like that's a very masculine type of activity. Because TikTok discourse, I saw how in relationships, men really want women, like their future partners, to be interested in what they want to do, but not in what they want to do or what the women want to do. And I feel like that was sort of integrated in this with Lucy, because she had, a nice retreat that could have catered to everybody's needs. Whereas, with something like paintball, you need, athletic capability, you need to be interested.
Like, could you have not, like, gone on the retreat and, like, one of the activities was paintball?
Yeah, I know. See, there's no compromise.
Yeah.
And I suppose that ultimately highlights the two different companies.
Yeah. I have a fun fact.
Okay. I love this.
Fun fact with Mac.
Yes.
So, Oprah Winfrey...
I did not expect us to go to Oprah, okay?
Ranked this...
Oh, no.
number 7th out of the 20 best romance novels of all time.
I severely disagree.
I know, 7th of all time.
What is the bring up the list, Kenzie.
I'll find it. I was like, there is no way.
But this book was released in 2016. Was this of all time?
Yeah.
Of all time, that is such a big statement. Yeah. Sally Thorne, I know you're Australian, and I know we should be supporting our Aussies, but like, come on, bro, this wasn't it. I'm sorry.
Number 1, Pride and Prejudice. I knew that was going to be it. This is on Goodreads. This isn't Oprah Winfrey's, but this is just in general. Because
I know it did win, or it was up there with like a Goodreads award.
Oh, yeah. Number 2, Outlander. Number 3, Jane Eyre. 4, Gone with the Wind. 5, Sense and Sensibility. 6, The Notebook. 7, Persuasion. Jane Austen is kicking goals here. 8, Dragonfly in Amber, which is Outlander number 2, and then number 9, Voyager, which is Outlander number 3.
Jesus. Overwhelmingly Outlander.
See if there's any... I'm skipping ahead, but 15, The Princess Bride.
Oh, I'm sure if it was on a list, I believe you. Obviously, the list has been, like, updated or something.
Yeah. 21, The Duke and I, Bridgerton.
Ah, yes. Yeah, sounds like it's very updated. Which I'm sure, once upon a time, this book would have been up there, I guess. But yeah, I respectfully disagree.
Yeah, there's a lot of Bridgerton on here. And Nicholas Sparks, of course. And Jane Austen.
I mean, Sally Thorne, I did enjoy the way the book was written. I did like the writing style and stuff, but it's just the concept.
I liked the writing style because it made it easy, comfortable read.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just perhaps the genre content itself was just not it.
Yeah.
Perhaps, yeah. And like, you were surprised when I told you she was Australian because I, looked that up on Goodreads, and then there was a little description of her living in Australia, and I'm like, did you know this? And you said that she wrote America so well. I feel like in this book there were no real defining locations to where they are. It was all, I don't think, at all. It was just like going to his apartment, her apartment, true. Just the name of the publishing houses as well, and just like the wedding. I don't even remember. I think there was one location, which is where the brother's wedding was held.
Oh yeah, and probably where her parents live, which I can't remember, but...
Yeah, I can't remember either. But yeah, so she really didn't have to like overly exert her American like city location knowledge. Even though that's the assumption. They could be Australian for all we know.
Yeah.
Did you find the little plotty twist between Josh and Mindy? Did you see that coming?
Oh, that they dated.
Yeah. Or that something was sus.
Yeah, I knew something was sus, but I was just like, I didn't guess that. And I was just like, well, that's inappropriate.
It's just awkward as well. Yeah, as soon as Lucy was describing everybody at the wedding, looking at Josh and like with sad eyes and wondering how he's coping, I'm like, this chick, they definitely boned. That's or something. But yeah, it turned out, that they were in the relationship, that he revealed to Lucy that when the merger happened, they split.
Yeah.
Which, awkward as hell. But at least they're on good terms. And, like, could have explained that. Like, I don't understand the whole hiding these secrets.
Yeah, and, like, it added nothing to the plot, really.
No.
Like, it didn't make a big difference in anything.
No. I suppose, he just had to have something to hide.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, the point of going to the wedding was, like, owing a favour, and, like, it was meant to be, like, a one-and-done thing,
Yeah.
Because it always is. What did you think about Danny and that whole, like, relationship trail?
Poor
even though it didn't go anywhere. I know, Danny was such a good guy.
Yeah, like, she just used him. I was like, you're being an awful person.
Yeah. She's
like, let me use you to make Josh jealous, essentially.
I think she genuinely wanted to date him, but Josh was just being stupidly over-possessive, and that also ticked me off.
Like, okay, like, I want you to go and kiss him, and, like, if it doesn't feel the same, then, like, I'll bone you. Bone?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I understand he wanted to prove a point that, like, Danny is not the man for you, but the way that went about, it reminded me of, which book was it? Maybe it was November 9, go on dates and do this and all that type of stuff as well. Like, him telling her what to do. And it's like, bro, she can do whatever the fuck she wants. But yeah, if you hated her, why did you care as well about what she did? But yeah, poor Danny. Yeah. I thought he was going to be a bit more of a sleaze because it was his last day, and the way he said something about, I'm a freelancer, we can keep in touch so you can give me a gig. I was like, this is going to come around. And then I thought he was going to spill the secrets as well.
Yeah, same. I thought that he would have played a bigger part, yeah.
Yeah. But no, I guess it just goes to show that we can have like genuine nice guys who, that she went on a date with, and they can still remain friends afterwards.
Nice guys finish last.
I know. In comparison, Joshua's a bit of a dick. Danny deserved better.
Do we want to talk about... Actually, no. Just what's your opinion on, like, one, the little code that Josh has in his little day planner?
I don't fucking care, bro.
But it's, like, how fucking weird.
I know, yeah.
Like, this is a day that, like, you wore a dress. Like, this is a day that, like... Yeah. And then him painting his bedroom wall to match her eye colour.
That's crazy. That's Delulu.
I'm like, sir, I'm going to need you to stay 100 feet away from me.
Him and Adam would be friends from the Love Hypothesis. They'd be best buds. They could swap some notes.
Yeah.
No, look, that is weird behaviour.
And then also, I want to talk about how, like, Lucy's relationship with her parents, like, highlights that, like, she has no friends.
Yeah.
And it's like, girl, like, I think you just need some female friends.
Yeah,
like,
true. Her only female friend abandoned her because...
Yeah.
But she explained because of how close she is to her boss, the CEO and stuff. Like, no one trusts her with their secrets and stuff. And yet she still decides to be a people pleaser.
Have friends outside of work.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's just like we need to develop these female MCs to have like more female friends, but the female friends will then be a plot device for jealousy or bitchiness. It's funny, like, we always complain in the world about, misogynistic views, and, we criticize how women are written, and yet authors these days, aren't even walking in tow with that to change that. Like, let's write female MCs who has a bunch of, like, close girlfriends who are, who have her back, who support her. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it did seem weird that she did have no friends other than Valerie, I think. And then, yeah, she lost her job, and then she held it against Lucy for really no reason. And I thought maybe Valerie was going to come up again and make an appearance. But yeah, I don't know, that's just so silly. But it comes across that Adam... Why do I have to keep calling him Adam? Oh my god. Josh seems like he has no friends either, so they're just lonely... They're just weird and lonely corporate folk together.
Are they just like, yeah, stuck at work, like, all the time? Okay, let's talk the absolute crazy manipulation when Lucy has her sex dream.
Yeah, okay.
And then so she shows up to work in a sexy little black dress.
Very inappropriate. Very HR.
Because she's like, ha ha ha, I'm going to show off to Josh because this is what he is missing. Even though I hate him, ha ha ha, I'm going to make him jealous. And then he forces her hand to be like, oh, you have a date? And she's like, actually, I do, with Danny, lol. And he's like, oh, I happen to be... She's like, it's at this bar at this time. And he's like, haha, I happen to be going to that bar as well at that time to watch the game.
Yeah, I found that so silly because I feel like Josh
I understand
was
the
also
plot
lying.
device.
Yeah.
I understand the plot device, but she could have just been like, no, I'm meeting friends after work or something. Like, I'm going for a drink.
We
like,
don't believe her. Come on.
I know, but like, she didn't have to say like, I'm going on a date. But I guess like, because she wanted to make him jealous.
I feel like it was very uncalled for Josh as well. Because again, like, they hate each other, but he's having this weird possessiveness over her as well. And yeah, refusing for her to date anybody. And yeah, I think, yeah, in that instance, they were lying to each other to see who would break. But then they both eventually had to have attended. And then
the lying game,
and then,
if you will.
Yeah, and then Josh got pissed off when she actually rocked up with a date. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I feel like she didn't need to tell him in the end that it was initially a lie, because that's none of his fucking business.
Yeah.
And she genuinely wanted to date Danny. I don't see the issue with that.
Yeah. So then also let's talk about him. He's like, okay, well, I'll drive you to the bar. And she's like, cool, thanks.
That whole thing is weird. You're trying to date somebody and this other guy is
But then they have a really hot, steamy kiss.
Yeah.
In the elevator.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Like...
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
Like hot, but...
if someone in real life, someone you know, was like, all right, I'm going on a date with somebody, but this guy at work is fucking looming me over. And then...
Yeah.
On the way to the date, he kissed me in the elevator. Like, what do you say to them? You're like, you're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I understand, you know, you play your field, I suppose, but you still got to be respectful of your process.
Yeah.
She planned to go on a date with Danny. You don't arrive in another guy's car who had just kissed you. Like, come on. Yeah. There's a courtesy and respect there.
Yeah, and so anyway, Danny calls her beautiful. And then she starts to cry.
I found this so
and then, of course, she left her jacket or whatever in Josh's car, so he gives it to her, like, at the bar. And he's like, why are you crying? And she's like, because you ruined me, because another man's called me beautiful, and I can't handle that because you're always teasing me, blah, blah, blah.
And calling her, like, pathetic and stuff.
Yeah. Did you realise that the roses, or the flowers, were from Josh?
No, I think I was skimming so hard.
Oh,
I believed Lucy's point of view. She thought it was from Danny. I believed it was from Danny.
So next day...
But then Danny was like, the daisies or something like that. And that's when I was like, huh? Okay.
Yeah, he was like, oh, flowers. Yeah, because so the next day at work, because of course this happened on a work night in America, she gets a bunch of roses delivered and it says like, you're always beautiful. And I was like... Well, that wouldn't be Danny because he just called her beautiful and then they didn't really have a follow-up conversation from that. It was like Josh had the follow-up conversation.
Yeah. It seems so silly. It's like, Josh, just fucking talk. Like, it's like a really strained miscommunication trope. Like, anyone in their real life surely would be like, all right, I'm going to have this mature conversation with you. I like you. I want to date you. Please don't date anyone else. Fine, get over it. But no, it's that, like, unnecessary longing and yearning for her that drives me up the wall. And, like, Danny is genuine. Danny deserves better. Maybe, I really don't like that relationship at all. Red flags, all the red flags. But he's a sad boy, so we have to love him.
Yeah. No, that's right. So, actually, we'll get to it. Hang on.
Yeah.
I'm jumping ahead.
It's okay. I like this vibe we got going on.
So, they go paintballing.
Yes. Have you ever been paintballing?
No.
Okay. I was just curious. I have.
Luke has.
It hurt.
Yeah, it hurts. Anyway, and... what's her name? Lucy comes down with the plague.
Yeah, she's sick because of course she has to get sick. He has to take care of her. Yeah, she's
sick, and so Josh takes her home. Okay, and now let's talk about the absolute delulu of this whole situation.
Yeah, okay.
So Josh takes her home, and he stays and, like, takes care of her and, like, cleans her apartment. Also, his brother just happens to be a doctor, so he gets him over to, like, check on her and stuff.
It's overbearing.
Yeah, and this is when, like, Lucy hears them talking about the wedding, and Josh is like, you have to come, and then Patrick is like, Josh, you have to come, and then Josh is like, yeah, okay, I'll bring this chick, I guess.
She's right here. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, and then she's like, oh my god, I guess he doesn't hate me because he stayed and looked after me.
Yeah, look, very much Delulu right there.
Like, if my work colleague that I hated, like,
Yeah,
stayed
hates,
in
quote
my house,
unquote hates, very loose.
while I have the plague, I'd be like, get out of my house.
Yeah,
like,
leaving the fuck up. And, like, he's borderline controlling. Like, maybe it's just because I'm in my place of work, you know, when someone says no, you got to respect that, and, like, you got to just back off. Like, you can't force anybody to do anything. They have dignity of risk, whatever. But in these books, it's always written as the man who's, like, always pushing the boundary of, no, I'm getting you a doctor. No, I'm doing this and doing that. And, like, I suppose all women want is their male partner to, like, look after them and cuddle them, you know, and treat them well when they're sick. Like, we've got that. That's the bare minimum, right? But, like, this is too controlling and overbearing. And she doesn't even know Patrick, the doctor. Like, she probably has a family doctor she could go to, you know, as well. I think it's just overcrossing those boundaries, and it's too much overprotectiveness. And then, the whole wedding
she
thing.
has gastro. Give her 48 hours and some Hydrolite.
Exactly. She'll be good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's really all it was.
So this is the term rounded out moment. Can't think of the word.
This is where it kind of got interesting, where I perked up a bit, because the first few several chapters up to this point was just menial office talk, menial I hate you, the staring game, this game, that game, whatever, job interview, blah, blah, blah. And now we get into the meat and the juice of the book.
Yeah. So this is where it's like the callback to the flowers. So she goes back to work, and Danny has daisies. And so I think she says, like, oh, you and the flowers. And he's like, oh, like, plural? Like, yeah, he doesn't understand.
Yeah, I got confused. And that's where I got confused, because I was like, I saw roses, but then she's mentioning daisies. I'm like, what?
Yeah, he asks her to dinner and kisses her on the cheek, and this makes Josh angry.
I hate everything about this.
Yeah, she gives Josh strawberries because her family has a strawberry farm.
Sorry, I was going to say, and it seems like when she was sick in that moment, like that was when they had their most genuine human conversations and chat, and they genuinely got to know each other because, she was asking Josh about his family and, like, his parents and his brother, or after Patrick left, of course. It's like the only time they can actually have a genuine conversation with each other is when they're not at work, which perhaps is the issue to begin with. Or maybe it's just that I suppose maybe even juxtaposition of, you know, because they hate hate each other, but then they obviously like each other outside of work and all that stuff. But, like, come on.
So anyway, she gives him strawberries as a thank you gift, and he figures out that the roses are from him. She wants him to kiss her, but he doesn't. This is where he says, I want you to go to dinner with Danny. I want you to kiss him. And if you don't feel that anyone kisses you the same way that I do, then...
First of all...
Yeah.
Arrogance.
I know.
He's not going to kiss you better than I can.
Yeah.
It's like, bro.
It's like any girl telling a guy, like, oh, no guy has ever made me come or whatever. And then the guy being like, well, I've made every woman that I've been with come. And it's like, no, you haven't.
It's like, have you though?
Yeah.
Have you? How did Oprah make this a top 7? Come on, Oprah. I know you're a smart woman.
Like, as to be expected, she goes to dinner, she kisses Danny, she doesn't feel anything, so she runs on her tiny little legs because she's so petite to Josh.
But, like, straight after she kisses Danny, she's like...
Danny's saliva is in her mouth.
She's like, actually, I want to be friends. That's it. And they're like, okay, cool. I feel like anyone would be awkward. And then Danny had a right to... would have had the right to avoid her forever now.
Yeah.
I have just a quick... I feel like...
Please raise your hand.
This again. I have a question. Oh, I don't have a question.
Claire, I see that you've raised your hand. Would you like to say something?
I would like to say... I will lower my hand. It's embarrassing that her and Danny had better chat/chemistry than her and Joshua throughout the entire book, and their minimal interaction that they had, in my opinion.
Yeah. But then, like, it builds them up, like, now they're friends.
Yeah. And even when Josh was talking to Patrick, like, it's felt natural there. Obviously, because they are, like, family, but it seemed, everything between Lucy and Josh seemed, like, unnecessarily fueled by their hatred. Anyway, sorry, go on. Yeah.
That's okay. I was just going to say, she goes to his apartment, they kiss, whatever. She sees that his bedroom is robin's egg blue, which is the colour of her eyes.
Hey, listen, I like the fact that
in the book it's green because Lucy Hale has green eyes.
Ooh, oh, okay, cool. I just love the naming specific details of, like, a colour. Because, like, it's real life. Because, like, there's baby spew green, you know, egg white, and all that type of stuff. It's funny. I like that.
This is, like, one of my favourite tropes is, like, he's not going to have sex with her because he's like, if I'm going to have sex with you, I need, like, more time. Like, I'm going to treat you right.
It was a one and done type of situation as well. And they're trying to savor it.
Yeah.
How stupid did he compare that to the analogy of him, holding out his Easter eggs or whatever, his chocolate eggs, because he wanted to savor it, but everyone was pressuring him all his family was pressuring him to have it. Like, how silly. You're correlating a sexual experience to eating a fucking piece of chocolate.
Yeah,
come on.
I love that. It's, like, the same as, like...
Yeah, I get it. It's cute.
Reese and Feyre, like, when I bed you, like...
Yeah, I mean, you want to be treated right, for sure.
Yeah.
But, like, that analogy was weird.
So, next day it's work, it's normal, whatever. And then she calls Josh, and then she hangs up, and then he calls her, and he's like, all right, come over. And they make out, but he's like, I'm not having sex with you.
Yeah, but she was going to call Danny, though. See, this is where she doesn't respect Danny. Our boy.
Yeah.
Poor Danny. What was Danny like in the movie? Was he pretty cool?
Nah, he was just, like, a nerdy guy.
Oh, so they made him unlikable.
Like, stock standard, they made him, He wasn't unlikable, he was just, like, the goofy, nerdy guy. It's like, okay, like, you don't match her energy.
He doesn't realise he's being played, really.
Yeah, watch the movie.
Oh, I will.
It's, like, it's a good movie. It's a good, like, sit down, like, at the end of the night, little rom-com. So the next day, Lucy overhears Josh talking to Mr. Bexley, the boss, being like, oh, don't worry, I don't need help beating Lucy, like, for the job position or whatever. So she's like, oh, he's just used me, like, because he wants the job. So she calls Danny immediately. Josh, like, sees that they're, like, they've met up for coffee or whatever.
Oh, yeah, because like, Helen, her boss, they had a practice run of the presentation. How did you find the presentation? Like, I found it seemed relevant at the time. Like, ebooks back then were making a surge. Yeah. And I felt like that sort of concept had really good relevance.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I was like, oh, this is actually something that I care about, instead of, like, a la Spanish love deception. Oh, you need to put on an open day for these people. Like,
yeah.
What activities will we do? Like, it was actually relevant.
It was very interesting. Yeah, and I of course thought that Josh was going to be a dick and be told about her presentation a bit more. Yeah. And just quickly, like, I hate that he somehow figured it out anyway. It's like, bro, you don't know everything, you weirdo.
Yeah.
Fucking stalker.
So the next day, Josh just is like, bring your bag tomorrow because we're going to the wedding.
Because she's honouring her word.
Yeah. In the movie, he just shows up at her house and he's like, why aren't you ready? Like, we're going to the wedding.
Oh, so as if there was
and she's like, I didn't think you'd still want me to go. Like,
oh, yeah. Again, communication.
Yeah. Anyway, so the next day, though, Lucy overhears Josh and Mr. Bexley arguing. She's like, what is that about? But no one would tell her. And I was like, interesting. We're going to circle back to that.
Yeah. I thought that was quite a significant moment. I love the joke with Janet from HR. She's like nosing about, trying to keep things in check. It's like, those aspects are funny.
She's really funny in the movie.
Yeah. Oh, good. And even Helen was funny in that moment.
Yeah.
Because Lucy's all paranoid and anxious, like, have I lost my job?
Yeah.
I'm going to lose my job.
I'm scared. I'm going to lose my job.
But no, it's all good.
So during the drive to the wedding, Lucy and Josh are, like, all flirty and stuff, and she's like, oh, my sex dream was about you.
Yeah, that whole revelation, how she initially lied about it.
Yeah. And how she had to, like, wrangle the date with Danny, like...
I must admit, the sexual tension was quite good, though.
It was.
It was very blue bally. Yeah. Proverbial blue bally.
Yeah.
But to be expected.
Yeah. So in the book, they fool around in the hotel room, but then his mum calls him and is like, we need help with stuff.
As you promised.
In the movie, they have sex, and she's like, the rehearsal, and he's like, we can miss it, it's fine.
Oh, see, I don't think I like that change because of the whole savouring the moment. It was essentially ruined.
But no, they had, like, because they had admitted by that point, they're like, well, we have feelings for each other, like, blah, blah, blah.
I suppose
blah,
the movie had to push it along a bit as well, I guess.
Yeah, and Josh, like, admits that, like, women have only wanted him for his looks, like, they usually leave him, like, once they get to know him.
Because there's too much description of his tall, muscular body.
Yeah, and this is when, like, at the wedding, like, Mindy's looking at Josh with sad eyes or whatever, like, blah, blah, and then Lucy finds out that they were exes.
To watch the movie now.
yeah, please do. It's good.
I will.
And Lucy's like, I'm going to leave, and Josh is like, no, stay. Like, I didn't need you here. Like, about Mindy, I needed you here because my father's a dick.
Yeah, this is where it got very, Spanish love deception. / love hypothesis, because the whole wedding thing, you know, because obviously in Spanish Love Deception it was a fake date situation. This is a semi-fake date situation as well. At like one of the dinners, like when the parents interrogate Lucy, being like, oh, how'd you meet? And you know how they have to make face and play on the relationship, whatever, and how they describe their first impressions and stuff, but it's always like that true moment. They're really honest. Like I like those little tropes, but like it reminded me of it too much. And then the whole being scared of your parents / your parents having like a legacy being doctors, it definitely reminded me of Adam and his family being in the military. It's like, bro, this is like the exact same.
And then also when Lucy stood up to his father.
Yeah, I loved it.
I was like, okay, this is icebreaker.
Yeah, yeah, true.
But like, but like, I was like, I'm all for it.
Why do men need their girlfriends or fake girlfriends to stand up to them? Come on, bro.
Would you like to take it away for the last section?
Actually, I like that you're continuing on, though. I like it when you take the lead. You're much more concise than I am.
Okay, I have 19 minutes of battery left.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's okay. We'll be fine.
That's fine. We'll be fine.
Also,
okay.
I suppose, just quickly, sorry. Now that you've given me the floor for
sorry,
a mini moment. No, that's okay. A part of, I guess, character development for Lucy is that she is such, like, a people pleaser. She's worried about people liking her. She's a nice girl, blah, blah, blah. I thought there was going to be more...
It was good... Yeah, sorry, to see her stand on her own 2 feet and be like, you know what, fuck you.
But the stepping stone was when she denied whoever it was, Julie, time to hand in an assignment or whatever. Because Adam, fucking hell, Josh, in a way, helps her and encourages her to, you know, keep her foot down because obviously it impacts her life as well if she has to stay late and do the reports and whatever. But yeah, that was that I enjoyed that little stepping stone to her then being able to fully have a go at this prestigious doctor, surgeon guy and yell at him. It was a great moment. So
Josh and Lucy go back to the city. They admit that they love each other. He tells her that he's always been in love with her.
Stupid.
Of course. He's like, I intentionally painted my room the colour of your eyes. Like,
creep.
So in the book, he's like, I'm changing jobs. You'll get the job at this company. So in the movie, I think they like have an argument or something and they're not talking. And then they get called in for like their presentations. And then like Josh stands up and like makes this whole big speech about like how Bexley and Gammon are like moving forward and blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, and you'll be able to do it because Lucy is like the CEO.
Yeah.
He's like, I've quit. I'm going to go work at like Harper and Collins or whatever. And it's like, that's what him and Bexley were fighting about. Like, yeah, so it's not left like unended. But.
Yeah, that big fight was essentially his last day in the book as well. But that's really cool how, I suppose the movie needs to make it more theatrical and dramatic. Because otherwise, his revelation at the end, while they're still at the hotel or at his house or whatever, was a bit boring in comparison. But yeah, I was also very worried that Josh was going to get the position anyway. Because you get the contrast of the two characters. Because he admitted that he just this was just a job really to him.
Yeah.
And that he's good with the finance and the numbers and the data behind it, whereas Lucy was incredibly passionate about it.
Yeah.
And I'm sick of books where the women take the step back and allow the men to have like the glory essentially. But yeah, I thought it wasn't going to be fair. Like, how are you going to choose between someone who just wanted a job over someone who's directly passionate about this industry? But I'm glad that he stepped down. And then he had a whole spiel about in his new job that he's going to be in love with the enemy, I guess.
Yeah, and then also there's like no conflict because like one of them doesn't have like the power over the other one. Like,
yeah, exactly. And like one's just like finance and data. Like, is that really meant to be secretive? Yeah. Now that would have been a real nemesis, enemies to lovers, different actual companies.
Yeah.
Crazy.
All right, and so that's the book essentially.
Yeah. It's an easy read.
It's an easy read. It's a good read if you're like, oh, I just want to like sit down and like just like read like an easy book. Like, I don't have to think too hard about it. Like, I want something light and fun. Like,
a little bit smutty when there's the sex scenes and stuff. Yeah. It's very like high tension in that regard as well. Yeah. You do get the proverbial blue ball. Shall we go to our stars that listen? Sure. If there's no other like lingering thoughts.
Not from me.
I don't think so. Yeah, it's a very small, concise book. All right, to the stars. For those that are obviously new, we read a 1-star and a 5-star review from Goodreads, just for shits and gigs. And we end on a 5-star note because we want to end on a positive note. Would you like to go first, Kenzie?
Sure. My 1-star is, I'm still waiting for a handwritten apology from Sally Thorne for this atrocity.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Okay. I have 2 1-star because I found this so funny. The first one is only 3 words. Josh, incel, misogynist.
I saw that one.
And then my other one is a paragraph, but that's okay. And we didn't look too hard for these, so like these are just on the public forum.
Yeah.
Alrighty, D and F. I don't know if I should rate the book because I had to stop it before I got very far. But if I don't, I'll forget that I tried and will see all the magnificent reviews. I might try it again. No, I don't want to waste my time. I just find immature sniping so aggravating that I can't force myself to slog through it until I start to be interested in the characters. That's what happened with this one. Which I wholeheartedly agree. Like, I did not give a shit about their bit of feud in the beginning, and I was very close to DNFing.
Yeah. I couldn't find a lot of, like, 5 stars that weren't, like, big reviews. So my 5-star is, this was so cute.
Love it, love it. Alright, this is my 5-star review. 5 stars isn't enough. I'd be hearing about this book from everyone, so I finally decided to give it a try. Holy shitballs. One of the best books I've read this year. If you need something to read, this is hands down my reading wreck.
I agree.
It just depends what you like.
She also has another book called Second First Impressions that, I don't know, I'd like to give a try.
Okay, we can give it a try.
Yeah, it's like the same sort of situation. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to do it next week? Or if you want to break it up, I'm happy to break it up.
No, that's fine. I'd like to do it.
Alright. Cool. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it differs.
Yeah.
Is that just on the back of the physical book? Like that extra?
Yeah, and I also think I have it. I also think I bought it because I saw it and I was like, oh, that seems fun.
Imagine it's like a like the same universe situation where
God,
Lucy and Josh make an appearance.
Yeah. Anyway, as always, thank you for listening. You will find us on Instagram at letterbox_book_club. From there, our link is in the bio to our link tree. Our link tree is now also in our bio on TikTok.
Yeah, so find us in all the places. And yeah, check us out next week for whatever that book was called, because I already forgot.
Second First Impressions.
By Sarah Thorne. No, Sally Thorne, sorry.
Sally Thorne.
Sorry. But yeah, thanks for listening. Catch you next week.
Thanks, bye.